morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the My Crypto Journey live stream here for a big ass cup of coffee and crypto this morning. It's not Monday, but it could feel like a Monday because it was Labor Day weekend. So shout out to you guys if you had some fun on Labor Day. Let me know what you did in the chat. And are we starting to see a bullish reversal? I'm not convinced just yet. A lot of things going on in the overall market. I mean, freaking Trump launched World Liberty Finance that looks similar to Melania and Trump token. And it's kind of just confirms some of the things like I've been saying about like the Trump family is, look at, I support Trump, but if you think that they're not here to make a bag before they're out of office, you're out of your mind. And that's what's going on because their wealth overall increased like crazy, right? So, and Gavin Newsom is going to be launching his own meme coin, which is crazy, but we'll see what's going on. Well, what's up? Welcome back. How we doing, guys? Like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're watching over on YouTube, and make sure to like the video and give me a repost if you're watching over on X. Good morning, Emmy. How we doing? Good morning. First on X. Jayhawk, first on YouTube today. What's up, baby? Good morning. Javi, what's up? He says, I was waiting for someone. Good job, Jay. Javi, usually first, but not first today, but we'll give you a pass for that. Kayla, yes, I am home today. How we doing? Dr. M.W. Kitchen. And while I'm yapping, I'll go ahead and put on the crypto bubbles. So we did break our trend line down on the Bitcoin chart in a pretty big way. I'm going to see how it closes out on the day. Now, one thing I do want to say about World Liberty Finance, right? I think that's what it's called, is that, just like a lot of other cryptos with pre-sales, we usually get a massive dump because the people that funded the project, people who bought the pre-sales, they're the type of people that are probably just going to make a 5x to 10x and then they're out, which has to make you wonder about the project's long-term, like kind of how do they really see it if all these people that are in on the pre-sale are just dumping on all the retail getting in after. It's an interesting situation, right? But one thing I've said is that if you look at Melania token, if you look at Trump token, I mean, they're all down pretty bad. Now we are waiting to get to a time where maybe we can see them pump up, right? But who knows, right? Most cryptos, I can't even defend it. This is bad, bro. This is bad. This is interesting. This is from Crypto Rug Muncher. He says, hilarious that a group connected to the president is behind this chart. Less funny the pattern. We've seen it before and we'll likely see it again. Repeatedly max extracting from the space that helped elevate you to the president doesn't make you the crypto president. It makes you a grifter. So that's an interesting statement. A lot of people are not happy about the World Liberty Finance token and then Trump token, the Melania token. And then the fact that we had like the Hayden Davis guy behind like Yeezy token and early in on like the Libra token, and then like involved with the Trump token. It doesn't make sense. It's like they all know each other, and they're going to be fine. And this is something we used to get mad about during the last bull run. That some of these cryptos, some of these big massive liquidity extraction from the space on a massive scale, like go unchecked, and it's just like it's a free for all. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, so Gavin Newsom said he's going to be making his own coin. Alexandra, good morning. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. And we may have some grim news for Ethereum on the short term. So that's interesting too. So this is our a chart that we drew for Bitcoin. It did break through our trend line down. I'm going to give it a day or so before I count off my prediction that I think that September is going to be a bearish for Bitcoin. So we'll see. But we did break through the trend line in a big way. So you can probably trade the reversal if you're thinking the market's going to pump a little bit. I'm not too convinced just yet. We'll see. And that's because the overall market is down quite a bit today, which is interesting. So we have the Dow down, we have the S&P down, we have the NASDAQ down, which is interesting. And this has to do with the tariff news. And we'll talk about that here in a second. But the whole tariff situation, I guess some other judges ruled on it. I guess they ruled that it was illegal. I know a lot of people are calling these rogue judges, but like so many judges are like not on board with tariffs. And I guess, I heard this from Cryptos R Us this morning. Apparently, if the Supreme Court rules against the tariffs, it's the Supreme Court. We can't just say F those guys, it's supreme, right? I think we get into dictator status when that happens. But I think we have to pay the tariffs back, which would be fucking bananas, right? So we'll see. I think the Supreme Court's technically on our side now, right? So we'll see. It's going to be interesting, though. A lot of crazy shit, in the works. You know, who else we got? Kayla, thank you so much for reposting this. Crypto feels stale. It does feel stale. It does feel stale. Yeah, because we are having a nice little breakout today, but we are still trending down, right? Keep that in mind. We did hit, 125 and whatnot, but we could be seeing a reversal here. We'll see. I'm not convinced just yet. I still have my short position out. We'll see. I do get wrecked at $117,000. So we'll see what happens. What's up, bud? How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. My Crypto Space UK says like and share. Yes, yes. Bought some more PEPE and still poor. Yeah, PEPE, this is interesting. So I read this from Benjamin, one of my favorite, crypto minds in the space. He said this about Ethereum, which I thought was interesting. Let me try to pull it up here. Even though Ethereum is getting a lot of attention, on the back end. A lot of people are looking at Ethereum long-term now. So this is from Benjamin Cohen, one of my favorite people in the space. He says, I think Ethereum will drop to a 21-week, I think it's moving average, right? Within the next 4 to 6 weeks, regardless of what Bitcoin does. After Ethereum hits that 21 EMA, it should then rally to a new all-time high. And I think that's down around $3,400. I think we're about to witness the final rotation into Bitcoin this market. So he thinks that we're going to see the final rotation into Bitcoin happening now, before maybe we get a good altcoin cycle, because it seems like all the altcoin season progress that we've made is kind of evaporating a little bit. That's interesting. Which I think it makes sense. I think it makes sense. Glenn says the fact that a judge will go against our own president and foreign affairs issues as well. Well, the thing is, you have to understand what makes America great is that we don't have one hive mind. We have people with different beliefs. If we had a person who had ultimate power over everything, that would make us like a lot of other countries that we always, we always make fun of and stuff. Like we don't need a dictator. We have it's not just one judge, it's multiple judges, that don't see it that way. And we could say it's political, but maybe that's how they feel. That's how they really think. And I always put myself in other people's shoes. This as strongly as I feel about one subject, another person can feel about the exact opposite. Like they feel strong about it, but the Supreme Court is the Supreme Court for a reason, so we'll see what happens, we'll see what happens, but it's interesting, right? When alt season, lads, yeah, you're fucking, probably that judge is not American. Smash the likes, subscribe if you are new. I don't think it's all black and white. I think there's a lot of gray area in there, you know what I mean? But the Supreme Court situation is going to be interesting. All right, so this is interesting. So the Trump family, their wealth has surged by $5 billion after launching World Liberty Finance. So this is one thing I've said always from the beginning. If you don't think the Trumps are here to make a bag, you're out of your mind. They see crypto as a good vehicle to generate some insane wealth. That's why they loosen up regulatory issues and those regulatory. You could say the whole SEC is gone, right? It's gutted. We have a new head. Right. And they're pretty much letting everybody cook in the space. Now, it comes with some good and some bad. It comes with some easy, but it also comes with us hitting, all-time highs for Bitcoin and those sorts of things. And maybe we can have projects like XRP, and these altcoins actually start to, pump and whatnot. I still remain bullish, baby. I still think we're getting an altcoin season. But it doesn't look good when all the tokens look like shit, right? When we look at Trump, right? Trump token. It doesn't look good when it looks like people on the inside are just extracting from the retail, right? This happens with Trump token. And Trump just took a big shit. And we know that these Hayden Davis guys and guys like this are in early making massive amounts of money, and then a couple days later we had Melania, right? Melania, official meme coin. It doesn't look good when they look like this. It just doesn't look good, and then we know the same people are on the inside. And then World Liberty Finance, right? WLFI. And we have this. And, it's not, and we have to give this time, but this doesn't look good, when we know that people on the inside are fucking wrecking people, You know what I mean? So that's not good, And then we have this, which I think is hilarious. Gavin Newsom, which to be honest, Gavin Newsom is just like, you know what? I'm going to fucking be weird too,
The real prediction is, we're about to put a meme coin out. And you know what, Donald Trump, we'll see how well your coin does versus our coin.
What? What? Can we fucking not, can we not have a fucking meme coin battle? Actually, yes, we can. Launch it, Gavin. I'm buying some, baby. Hey, because DJs don't give a shit, Now, are they going to have massive insiders? I don't know. Probably. You know what would be crazy though? If Gavin Newsom launches a token and there's no insiders, there's no bundles. It's like the perfect launch. There's no shady shit. Can you imagine? You know, which politician can outrug us? Which politician can rug us the hardest? You know, it's just crazy. I'm stuck in a building token, so let's see how long that lasts. Yeah, we'll see. Only bonk. I mean, I don't know. Who's going to rug us yesterday? TA USD going crazy, made 7K USDT. How are you making profits in a stable coin? Is that a stable coin? If people are making, I think there's a hex stable coin that people are trading. It's like, guys, it's a stable coin. You're not supposed to be able to trade it. You know, unless it's like another currency, but it's usually the dollar, right? You're not supposed to be able to trade that, which, you know, I don't know. It is what it is, but that, you know, it's kind of crazy. It's like, come on. And, you know, I know people don't give a shit and people are like, whatever, but we did get some new rate cut probabilities or percentages and whatnot. So probabilities. So 92% probability that the Fed cuts rates at the FOMC meeting in 15 days. So we knew this was going to happen. We saw the rate, you know, the odds go up and down and whatever, but we're going to get rate cuts. Now, are they priced in? I think they are. We'll see. But it's going to be interesting. I understand that, but their reasoning for going against them is strictly political. Yeah, you know, some people think tariffs are good. Some people think they're old tech, you know. I feel like I'm not smart enough. I try to research a lot, you know. But the thing is, like, when I look at like the debt, when I look at inflation, and it just seems like we're past the point of no return, really. Like, we ain't paying back nobody. We ain't paying back that debt, bro. We're never going to balance the budget. We're not. I think we've added like $1 trillion, more than $1 trillion in the last like 45 days to the debt. Like, we're not paying that shit back, bro. The sad thing is that, you know, the middle class is, I mean, I guess that's what the tariffs are supposed to do, is bring back the middle class, right? Bring jobs back to America over time. But we are seeing the middle class, you know, evaporate and whatnot. It's down pretty bad over the last 30, 40 years. You know, and obviously during times like this, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer, you know, and we're seeing that, in a big way with, you know, World Liberty Finance token, you know. Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, we did see Canada's economy decline. Sucks when you go against the USA, huh, Canada? How about that, huh? Gold reaches a new all-time high, which is interesting. So gold hit a new all-time high, so that's good. All your gold is worth more. Michael Saylor buying more Bitcoin, which is not. Is it really a strategy, or is he just top blasting, baby? You know, why do you say that Pepe is in trouble? What's up, Big Pump? I think that Pepe is in trouble because I think that if we think that we're seeing a rotation in the Bitcoin right now, and we're starting to see alts like Ethereum maybe not do as good as as we think they are, they were going to be doing this month or the next month, at least for now. Then we're going to start seeing like top meme coins like take a breather, right? Could be in trouble, could be dumping a little bit. And it shows in, like, if you go to like the month chart for Pepe and whatnot, it shows that, you know, it's not really doing anything. So top meme coins could be in trouble. If we're starting to see a rotation back into Bitcoin and that whole altcoin narrative kind of cool off a little bit, then we could see that, right? We could see like, maybe even like the last month, Ethereum's been ripping, having a fantastic month, and I mean, it's still a good year overall, but last month has been pretty bad for Pepe and top. Well, I put that in the title because Pepe is a good algorithm finder. People like Pepe, right? So got to put that in the title. I'm still a guy on YouTube trying to get people to click. So. But that's why it's good for the title. But it is true. There's some truth into that, though. So are we going to see a rotation into Bitcoin? I'm not sure. I'm still not 100% sure yet. I'm going to wait till today's over and see how we look tomorrow to see if we're having some sort of reversal. I am shorting Bitcoin right now, and I am going to be out around $117,000. So I will get wrecked if we pump to $117,000. But we'll see. Remember, historically, September is a bad month for crypto. I have not changed these lines at all. I've stick to my prediction, and we going to see. Right, we gonna see. It's gonna be interesting. A lot of hype right now, but I will say again, a lot of macroeconomic uncertainty just because of the whole tariff situation. So check this out. So Besson expects Supreme Court to uphold legality of Trump's tariffs, but eyes Plan B, which is interesting because the whole situation with the tariffs is like, if the Supreme Court says nah, that's bad. It's the Supreme Court. We can't just be like, oh, fuck the Supreme Court, right? Or can we? Hey, whatever, right? But we have to pay them back, which is not good. So a divided U.S. appeals court ruled on Friday that Donald Trump's tariffs are illegal, undercutting the Republican president's use of the levies as a key economic policy tool. The court allowed the tariffs to remain in place through October 14th to give Trump administration a chance to file an appeal with the Supreme Court. Right, so it's going to the Supreme Court now. Right, it's the 7-4 decision by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit of Washington D.C. addressed the legality of what Trump calls reciprocal tariffs imposed as part of his trade war in April, as well as a separate set of tariffs imposed in February against China, Canada, and Mexico, aimed at halting the imports of fentanyl. And I don't know if a lot of people are paying attention, but we might be thugging it out with Venezuela right now. You guys don't know that, right? Yes, Cohens. Yes. So I don't get absolutely wrecked. Yes, absolutely. You know, Venezuela, shit's ramping up with Venezuela right now. You know, you guys, no one's really listening to that, but go on YouTube and watch some videos about, we're sending fucking warships out there, baby. And people are saying that it's just like a show of force. It could be, but it don't look like it. You know, so Venezuela might be getting some smoke right now, you know? So it's going to be interesting. Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to dev for Newsom's coin. All right, who's buying Gavin Newsom's coin? I'm telling you, every degen in the space. What is he going to launch it on, though? You know, is he going to launch it on a Solana, you think? He got to launch it on ETH, dude. I know it's going to be a little more expensive. That'd be goated. Gavin Newsom. To be honest, he's been pretty funny on X. It's been cringe, but the meme game has been pretty decent. You know, like I used to live in California, okay? Like I used to live in California and was directly affected by their policies for the job that I did when, you know, I worked for worked retail. We'd catch shoplifters. And look, I'm telling you, it may not seem like a big thing, but when someone comes in the store and steals a massive amount of merchandise every single day and are using drugs, it's just fucking up the flow of business every day, single day. And you put them in jail and they're out the next day doing the same thing. It makes you lose all hope for, you know, any justice in California. So I'm not saying I like the guy. And I remember back during the pandemic, he's telling everybody to stay in, and him and Nancy Pelosi are out fucking enjoying their lives, you know? I don't like the guy, but his meme game has been pretty strong on X. I got to recognizes real when it comes to memes, right? But yeah, I mean, just fuck, man, you know? We have 3 bad tokens. Now, I hope we get a pump, and a nice little pump with World Liberty Finance. But it's the same kind of thing I've always said about these kind of these tokens is like, hey, man, look, if you're looking to buy in on the hype when something like this launches, when it has a massive pre-sale, a seed fund, fucking run, angel investors, seed funding, you're going to get wrecked. You're going to get wrecked. They're going to dump on you, and that's what they're doing, right? Let me pull up something more, get some more numbers to show you exactly what was going on. And other news, Andrew Tate got liquidated, lost $680K on World Liberty Finance. So he's been trading. It's been pretty bad. 1 second here. And you can see, this is some from Coin Bureau. You can see that the whales are selling World Liberty Finance. So a lot of people that, you know, and what I'm saying is that a lot of these people that invest early into these cryptos, they're okay with making a 5, a 10, maybe even a 20x sometime, 4x, those sorts of things, you know? And this is funny. This is from Common. He says, no, wait, how? What? It cannot be. Like, we all knew that, right? Yeah, so a lot of people that got in early are just absolutely, Jesus Christ. I mean, some of these guys made some money. Oh my goodness. Congrats. But they're dumping on all the retail after, The unfortunate part is, like, we see this situation time and time again. I mean, we saw with the Yeezy token, the amount of people that lost money on Yeezy token, it is insane. And obviously these are people that, like, they have money to lose. Like, people that are losing $1 million on a meme coin, I mean, they're okay. They're not affected by this. Let me see. Justin Sun has not sold, though, right? So this is wild. Justin Sun is up 10x on his World Liberty Finance pre-sale. He invested $30 million at a $1.5 billion valuation and $45 million at a $5 billion valuation. At current prices, wow, it's worth $750 million, right? And look at all the bubbles and whatnot and stuff. Shout out to Crypto Bubbles. It's been a really good tool in the space. So let's see. The bubble map of World Liberty Finance matches the distribution on their website. So nice, cool. So that's pretty cool. Obviously, 20% the treasury right here. Public sale 20%. Let me blow this up. I guess it's for the corporation. Well, Bubble Map's got a new UI upgrade. Pretty sweet. We won't take a hoe home, but we'll fill Trump's pockets. Yeah. I mean, it's something that I've always said, guys, is that they're here to make a bag too. They're not stupid, right? Unless something changes, he's not going to get a third term, which some people would want that. But I think we should probably stick to the fucking rules we've had forever, But, and we could get, this is something I talk about too. We could get a continuation of the same policies and stuff we've been having with him, with JD Vance or someone like that. But obviously, if we get someone else in the White House, it depends how far we've made when it comes to progress, right? If we have all these laws and stuff with, actually having some sort of strategic Bitcoin reserve where we have rules and regulations and stuff like that where we can buy crypto. I don't think a new president would tear all that down, because the crypto sector is going to grow by that time, and it may be a really, really big. It may have a really big impact on, first of all, lobbying, because there's a lot of money in crypto, but when it comes to just voters, there's gonna be a lot of pro crypto people, and you can't just destroy the space like they did, the last administration. But we could see somebody in there that could reverse all these policies slowly, right? That could be a thing. Yeah. So that's something we have to look forward to, But the Trump administration, they're here to make some money, right? And obviously a bunch of this is funny. A bunch of fakers were out there and those sorts of things. But this is the numbers, the 70,000 total traders who lost money on the Yeezy token. So a lot of people are getting wrecked on these tokens. When it comes to something like this, again, guys, nothing goes parabolic. This is probably where you want to buy if you're going to buy. $21.7 billion market cap. Holy fucking shit. That's crazy. What's up, Jason? How we doing? Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Super Demand? Thank you so much for reposting this stream. We're popping over on X today. I love it. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Check out Bomo. Yes, I am. I actually made a video on Bomo, another meme coin, and it did. Can we just have our simple meme coins again? Our fucking funny characters. Can we just have that again? More crypto content coming for you guys. Don't worry. Got some Bomo content coming for you guys. And if you bought some when I had talked about it, it did pretty well. Shib on base, the first ever meme, V4 Burns. You looked into us a while ago. Oh, that's cool. Shout out to Shib on base. Is WFI a great buy for a future project? I don't know. Gonna call Newsom's token transgender blender. Inmates get a discount. Jesus fuck. Inmates get a discount is crazy, it's a little crazy. I like it. I fuck with the heavy. Hey, hey, whatever. I do really like the Billy token. All right. Billy. Can we just get a meme coin season again? Oh, this was interesting. Check this out. So, Hong Kong listed Young Feng Financial, affiliated with Alibaba co-founder Jack Ma, has purchased 10,000 ETH worth 44 million. We are starting to see ETH get some love here. Ethereum's starting to pick up. We may see a little, shake out before the breakout, but we are starting to see ETH get some love again. I thought that was interesting, right? I thought that was very interesting. ETH is starting to, I do want to go over this thread here real quick. This is interesting. This is a nice little thread by Star Platinum Soul about the World Liberty Finance and the Trump tokens and those sorts of things. Okay, so we do have some more news on Sharps Technology. They hold over 2 million of. So I think we're starting to see, are we seeing another fucking? We're seeing the same thing with with Bitcoin and Michael Saylor. Their strategy. We're starting to see that with ETH and now Sol, I guess. So Sharps Technology now holds over 2 million Sol, creating a Sol treasury currently valued north of $400 million. I thought that was interesting. So Sharps Technology. I don't know if I'm supposed to. This is a subscription post, and I'm subscribed for DGen News, so maybe I shared that when I wasn't supposed to share that. I'm sorry, DGen News. My bad. I just read that right now. But this is pretty cool. So listen to this. So obviously this is Bitmine, right? Obviously big pro ETH guy. He says, in our view, Ethereum is having its 1971 moment where the real world assets are becoming synthetic or tokenized.
So in our view, Ethereum is having its 1971 moment, where the real-world assets are becoming synthetic or tokenized. Treasury Secretary Bessent sees this becoming a multi-trillion-dollar market for stablecoins. And it's not just stablecoins, but banks are already moving to build products on Ethereum, whether it's JP Morgan, Robinhood, Goldman, Bank of New York, even Walmart and Amazon. So what does this mean? Well, in 2025, as the real world becomes digital, it's going to be natural to say, I want to find the digital store value, and that is Bitcoin. And I'm a believer in Bitcoin. But it's also going to create a market for digital assets. And we think the winner there is Ethereum. And in fact, Wall Street is building here on Ethereum. So in our view,
and I think that's interesting too, because I think people are starting to look at Ethereum, like people look at Ethereum and Bitcoin a little different, right? Ethereum, massive use case, Bitcoin store of value, very interesting. But I think that's Tom Lee, right? So Tom Lee, obviously really pro Ethereum guy. I thought that was interesting. What do you guys think? And this is where we want for crypto, right? Because we don't, in my opinion, like obviously still crypto is just price go up, price go down. In a really like a speculative market. So I'm hoping we can see some sort of massive use case for Ethereum. Obviously, when Euphoria every month I hear next month I need another Lambo. Well, I still think that September is going to be bearish for crypto, even though Bitcoin is ripping right now, kind of ripping. Where still hasn't done anything crazy, but it is ripping. And maybe Pumptober, over into pretty much like we do every cycle. Around fall we start to get some massive price increases. Obviously, we still have rate cuts to look forward to, even though I think they're priced in. People don't think so. We might get a little pump before that, but we'll have to see, right? Remember, we have some pretty big news that's kind of, we have some pretty big news, with the whole tariff situation that could really affect the way the markets are going to look. It depends on what the Supreme Court says, so we'll see what happens. It's going to be very, very interesting. That's a big deal. I think all markets are very speculative. People in stocks thought they were safe, but remember that huge drop on things like Netflix, et cetera, anything. Yeah, exactly. But what I mean is like, when people like are buying, like Nvidia or, any stock, they're looking at like, they're doing, it's more of like a research thing. It's more of like, they're offering a service to the world that we use, like a Netflix, or Nvidia with chips and stuff and semiconductors, or just any like Teslas and cars and stuff. And I think that a lot of those prices are inflated too, but they're offering some sort of service, like right now, even though you can see, and people are using those services, but with crypto, I just don't think that like really, like what are we using today? Really, that's helping, that everybody uses, in their everyday lives that, would make it so it's valuable. That's why, I like when they talk about tokenizing everything on Ethereum, or just like stable coins, institution using stable coins, like that's a big deal, but really, I get why people are buying certain stocks, and the Bitcoins is a store of, I get why people are buying Bitcoin. It's a store of value, digital gold, place to put your money, as a hedge against inflation, right? Like all assets, so that's what I mean by that. But yeah, and there's plenty of use cases in the crypto space. There's plenty, but like on a mass scale, like it's easy to speak for some of these stocks and stuff, Good morning, Superman Dan. Thank you so much for reposting the stream. I appreciate you, bro. I heard CME gap at 93K for Bitcoin, but doubt we drop that low. That's actually the price when I charted this out, where it looks like it could go before we rip back to, we start to rip back towards all-time highs. We'll see. That's interesting you say that, though. That's exactly where it could go before it pumps. It's not perfect, and we can be seeing some sort of reversal, but what's up, Selmafoot? How we doing? But yeah, when it comes to crypto, it's just like a big use case. We don't really see it yet. It's not there yet. Like a lot of people that I see in crypto, are really, here for price go up, and you could say that about like I don't know. Like people are all betting together. It's like GameStop. Like remember when Jesus fucking them people are vacuuming the hallway. It's so loud. I don't know if can you guys hear that? Like with GameStop, a lot of people just came together and said, "Yeah, this company's worth more." And GameStop's bad. It's bad, right? Their business. I don't know if their business model is bad, but it's like if you're a gamer and you go in there, it's like you can buy everything online. It should be a failing company. It's like Blockbuster and shit. Like Blockbuster with Netflix and streaming and all that stuff started to happen. Like you could see why it would be going out of business. Like I got a PS5 and you don't need to go to a GameStop to buy the physical. If you want the physical copy, fine, but why would you want it unless you're like a collector, And if you want you can just buy it online or something, Which is, what's weird? Like, dude, with Amazon and like DoorDash, we don't even have to leave our house anymore. It's crazy. GameStop was a fun rally. I didn't participate, but they just wanted to liquidate a ton of shorts to pump up the price. Yeah, because a lot of people were shorting, and so when you short something, like even that's a logical trade, right? But it was like a power to the people kind of thing, right? Because a lot of people, you could say big, powerful money was shorting GameStop, and that does drive the price down. But they were using, I guess, good analytics for that. Because if you look at GameStop as a failing company, and a bunch of people got together, a bunch of plebs got together and said, "You know what? Fuck you guys. We're gonna buy it back up." Yeah, it was a pretty cool time in the space, man. 2021, 2020, whoo. Believes thinks Trump coin will get to 100 million market cap. Believes is just wrong. Believes is just wrong on a lot of things. The guy's a contrarian to like the worst of the worst. Like he's a contrarian. Like he'll just. But yeah, with the Trump token, I don't think Trump token lives past this cycle. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I don't think it does. 100 million, possibly. You can be right about that one, but he's been wrong about a lot of things, so we'll see. I guess it depends on the time frame. People tell you things without a time frame, Let me see what else we have here. Yeah, but the GameStop rally was pretty fun. Yeah, that was a crazy time in the crypto space. I remember so many people were making dumb money. Everybody opened up a Robinhood account. It was just crazy, People got in the crypto, meme stonks. What's up, Shib on Base? How we doing? Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Shib on Base. If you guys could, smash the repost button over on X. It would help a lot. I appreciate you guys. All right, what else do we have going on here? Well, one thing I talked about too on Thursday or Friday was, hey guys, if you're on the sideline right now, it's a mistake. Get in the game. Get your ass in the game. Get in the game. You may have another time like this where it's going to be so easy to just make money being in the game. Stocks, crypto, crypto a lot too. Crypto's been a big one. Like the Trumps see it. They're not stupid. They're very smart people. They're savvy. Gavin Newsom's coming out with a fucking meme coin. You know how many people that's going to bring into the crypto space? Do you know how many Democrats are like anti-crypto? So many Democrats are anti-crypto. But if he makes one, a lot of people are going to be jumping in, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. There are a lot of people like associate crypto with being Republican. I swear to God. A lot of people that I meet, maybe this is just just my experience, but it seems that way. Crypto bros are Republican losers, and people are kind of like haters sometimes. Like a lot of people I meet, they're just haters. But if Gavin Newsom drop one, it's gonna bring a lot of people into crypto, so it's a good thing for us. What world are we living in right now? What's up, Frank the Tank? Good morning. Wait, so Trump token is like $2? Yeah, I know. Straightway, I know it's bad. I know. Look, what do you want me to say? A lot of people want me to come up here and defend this shit. It's like, what am I supposed to say, man? It's obvious what the fuck this is. Now, long term, like we say for everything, it could work out, right? Whatever your time frame is. But it looks like it's just all the people that have got in there extracting from the community. And maybe they'll buy back in at a lower price after they've made their profits, But it is bad, It is bad. But yeah, so I mean, it's interesting. Just get in, right? So we saw like one of the co-founders of Tornado Cash go to jail recently, and people are still using Tornado Cash, which is crazy. How does that work? I guess it is just code, at the end of the day, but yeah. So Tornado Cash is still a thing. If I don't know if you can use it in the United States. I remember it became like illegal, but let's read this thread by Star Platinum. So Donald Trump, new crypto, World Liberty Finance is here, a token backed by politics, insiders, and one of the most dangerous structures ever seen. So this is a thread. I wanted to read this. So the token World Liberty Finance puts almost all the leverage with insiders. 56% of the supply sits with founders, team, and Trump's family entities. Only 3.7% was for the public at the start. The corporate setup is even worse. DT Marks DeFi LLC, the Trump's family vehicle, owns 22% of all World Liberty Finance. It also takes 75% of net token sales revenue. One family captures the upside while everyone else takes the market risk, which is like it's their token, right? The unlock game is simple. 20% of pre-sale tokens unlock on day one. So that's where we saw that massive dump. People are selling, right? The other 80% unlocks over 12 months, but only if insiders vote for it. So that's going to be very important to pay attention to if you're in this token. Because the thing is, like, you can keep buying on top of this. You know, you can keep buying and buying into it, but if the insiders, you know, or people that pre-sellers, you could say, I won't say insiders, but pre-sellers got, you know, that are already in vote to unlock, they're going to keep dumping on all the retail coming in after. So that is kind of dangerous. You don't have all the potential dumps that you could have done in like a day. Founder allocations stay locked until, again, insiders vote, right? So a DAO, you could say. Scarcity when they want it, liquidity when they need it. Exactly. So that's interesting. So that is scary. That's a scary part of this too. So if you are buying World Liberty Finance, just keep that. It's something you should know, right? Why is Trump dead trending on Twitter? What the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? On-chain shows extreme concentration. Project Treasury is 29% of the supply. Lockbox contract is 16%. Justin Sunwalt 3%. A few other strategics hold a big supply. Top two entities alone hold 45%. Real liquid float is tiny. The money behind it is huge. $550 million raised across private and pre-sales. $75 million from Justin Sun right before inauguration. A $2 billion arrangement linked to Abu Dhabi for USD1 stablecoin usage. So remember, they're USD1, right? But I have even bigger questions. The unlock schedule is designed for control. It is. That is 1,000% true. Today, the 20% of pre-sale tokens unlock around 483 million. The other 80% will be unlocked by only internal votes. Founder tokens are locked until insiders decide otherwise. The risk of dumping is massive. So this is bad, dude. What is this? There are already signs of manipulation. Wallets created days before launch, buying big, scarcity engineered by low float, rumors of circulating trade and all that. Dude, it's one of those situations like, are we just fucking stupid, or is this exactly what we see it as? You know? Oh fuck. No, this is exactly what they're just extracting value, right? Max value. The whole vote thing gets me too, because if there's like no positive price action, they're not going to vote to unlock the tokens. But if there's a massive massive increase in volume, they're going to unlock it, you know, and people are going to be able to sell. So keep that in mind. I mean, I got to give it to World Liberty Finance. They gave a chance for regular people to buy in early in January between 15 cents on pre-sale. Yeah, that is true. Yeah. So they're only up 2x, and some people are even down slightly. Yeah. They got 20% at TGE. We need to build real community who works together. A community. What do we got here? Superman. Why no groups communities like that? Doesn't launch 2x that much. Love a 2x that much. Well, the thing is, like, I don't think. What's up, Delete Zeros? Holy shit, these live streams are still going live. Haven't been here in a few years. What's up, baby? Delete Zeros. How we doing? Yeah, we've been streaming for about a month now. I would say a month. So we are streaming again. Yes. Welcome back. I know a lot of subscribers are like, what the fuck? Welcome to Delete Zeros. Welcome back. We're back in the game, baby. We've been on X for a little bit, but we're on X and YouTube. So let me see. What's up, Sacco? Still here. If you put 2 million, if you're happy with a 2x, yeah. If you put 2 million, you're happy with a 2x. Exactly. You know, the thing is, like, I think that's what you can really expect from pre-sales these days, unless you're in early. I mean, obviously the private round's going to get more, right? The private round. And the thing is, like, you don't always. I think with this, there's an exception because it's like World Liberty. It's going to make some money. People are going to get in, right? But I think that sometimes if you're like an angel investor in everything, you're taking a risk, right? Because you're giving money to this project, but you don't know how they're going to do over time, right? You don't know if they're actually going to pump. It could just be a big, you don't know if you're even going to make money. So you are taking a risk, right? That's what pre-sales are. They're kind of risky because you don't know if it's going to do anything crazy. But with something like this, we can assume that it's going to do some numbers. But yeah, these guys are fucking caking, bro. Caking. Let me see. Good to see you too, Delete Zeros, man. It's good to have you back in the chat. Hopefully you stick around a little bit. My like 275, don't be hitting on shit. Yeah, you gotta be okay. So like a 2x is great if you put in a couple million, right? That's great. But I don't think you can expect a lot from some of these pre-sales like we're used to seeing, at least last cycle. I think a lot of people are still used to what we saw last cycle, Last cycle, I mean, we saw pre-sales do some insane things. I'm talking about like 10x's, 100x's, like regularly, What did you mean by PEPE in trouble? What I mean is, we could be seeing a rotation, one more rotation into Bitcoin. This is the chart I made for Bitcoin. And obviously, when it comes to like Bitcoin dominance, it's starting to rise again. And when we see Bitcoin dominance started to rise, we start to see like, Ethereum cool off, and maybe some of the top tokens on Ethereum like PEPE cool off. And if you look at PEPE's price action, it could be in the short term in trouble, which means pulling back. That's what I mean by that. So we could be seeing Ethereum start to cool off a little bit, Now, Ethereum's still looking really, really good, right? But still, over the last week, it's down 4%. Bitcoin's up a little bit, So we could see, the dominance go down a little bit. Alt season in November. Yeah. That's what we're fucking hoping. I hope so. It's very risky indeed. You have to assume that 98% fail and 2% will make a lot. Exactly. But Pygos at the same time, it's a Trump token, right? That's a big deal. It's a Trump token. You think they're going to let it fail? Even like Trump token, like the main one, like did pretty good if you got in early. The issue with Trump token in the beginning was like no one thought it was real. Like I remember when I got I got in the Trump token, but when I got that information about Trump token, I didn't think it was real. I was like, no fucking way. He launched a token, and then he did. I'm like, did he get his account hacked? We were used to accounts getting hacked and those sorts of things, But yeah, I would say that 98% fail. But if it's a Trump one, I mean, we could push that up. We could push those numbers up. I believe by October, PEPE will do well. I think so too. I think we'll get some pumps. We'll get some pumps again. We're still quite a way off, quite a ways away from our all-time highs. But yeah, I agree. But yeah, you have to assume that most fail for sure. But I think in crypto right now, if it's a Trump-tied token, like we can assume it's going to do some nasty numbers, and insiders are going to make some nasty gains. My biggest issue is like, man, why are we seeing like Hayden Davis and shit like connected? Like that's what gets me, man. You know what? We'll go to this. You still working out? Yeah, not as much as I should. I'm actually getting kind of fat, so we'll figure that out here soon. We'll get back to that. But like what gets me is like, we see like these guys like Hayden Davis, like these guys getting in early on Yeezy and then getting early on Trump token and Melania. Like, how do they know? You don't spend $1 million randomly on random tokens when you're playing the DeFi game. You just don't do that. So I don't know. I mean, the highest chance of succeeding in private sales is really in the layer 1 category. They have the highest chance of succeeding. That's true. Yeah, there's so many of them too. But like what really gets me is like seeing like these guys, like, obviously you got some insider information, Yeah, like a Libra token, Melania, It's just like, it's obvious, right? I don't know. It's like, are they just fuck us, huh? Fuck the peons, the peasants. All right, what else we got? I see the drum set. Nice. You still? Yeah, I got a drum set. Yes, love that. I play a little bit every day. I mean, I think I read that already. Let's see how we're doing for the overall market. We have Bitcoin dominance right here. So Bitcoin dominance is down, but obviously not low as we saw. So yesterday it was at 57%. And yeah, so Bitcoin dominance and Ethereum. So it's starting to reverse again, right? We're starting to see a little bit of a reversal again. So That's the opposite of where we want it to go, right? I'm not trying to shield, but you heard of it was at QNX, first layer 1 quantum resistant blockchain being developed. I think that narrative is coming out next year. I'll check it out for you, but no, I have not heard of that. There's so much shit that's going on in the DeFi space. Oh, it's being developed. It's being developed. It's not out, is it? Oh, is this it right here? That guy is funny. He made more than most of the creators ever, even. I think, but he has to have insider knowledge, right? Someone's like, "Hey, man, buy this up," you know, because people look at what those guys buy and they buy into it too, you know. With the whole Melania thing too, you know, I think what got me too is like the Trump token. I was pretty bullish on, but the Melania one is was like, oh man. But it's gonna be interesting to see how Gavin Newsom's token does. He has insider knowledge because they asked him for help to create the token. Yeah, for sure, absolutely, and that's why you know, he's probably going to be okay when I remember the whole Libra situation happened. He was talking to CoffeeZilla, which was stupid in my opinion. So he helped on both Melania and Malay. Yeah, for sure. Let me see if we got any more news.
You know, we're about.
Do you think Trump is really sick? I saw something like that. I don't think so. What do you guys think? I don't know. Trump, that guy is in the amount of energy that guy has is insane. But I mean, look at his life. You know, I actually don't know. I haven't looked into that a little bit. I haven't looked at. So what I'm going to do is spend the day looking into that and see what's going on. I don't know. I think he's fine though, right? What do you guys think? But I'm interested to see what happens with Gavin Newsom's meme coin. That's going to be interesting. Let's watch some videos on if Trump is really. There has to be something on YouTube, right? Is Trump really sick? Is he down with the sickness? I don't know. I haven't heard anything like legit about that, but if you watch CNN, Trump is sick, but he's 70 something, so he's old. Yeah, let the man rest, you know? Let the man get some sleep. Is Trump sick? Yeah, it's a lot of like CNN news and shit like that.
Protesters taking to the streets on Labor Day, railing against President Trump and other billionaires who they claim are taking power away from the working class.
We call not only on community leaders, but our elected officials to stand.
Defund the police, black women, all my homies hate prison. Look at her laptop stickers. Fuck out of here, huh? Fuck out of here with that shit, huh? All right, let's watch another non-biased channel. Let's see. MAGA meltdown as Trump drops alarming health condition bomb. I don't know what the fuck Occupy Democrats. I don't know what's, you know, just give him a Big Mac. Yeah, give him a Big Mac. What's your guesstimation on Bitcoin top this cycle? I think $175,000. What do you guys think? 250K. Fuck it. Trump is with Putin and Zelensky's secret meetings. All Trump needs is a day off, golfing, eating McDonald's, and he'll be back to full force. I know, isn't that crazy? That's peak performance right there. It may not look like it. Lefties preying on Trump's downfall. Yeah, true. Lefties are preying on his downfall. I haven't heard anything. I saw like a few. What was trending on X is Trump hashtag Trump is passed away, which is kind of crazy. I haven't heard anything about it. I've been focused on the meme coin shit. I didn't know that was even a thing until like last night. Let's see. If you see this, you say, what the fuck is going on? What's this?
Is President Trump gravely ill? Is he?
Is this AI? This is AI, isn't it?
Is President Trump gravely ill? Is he suffering from a serious illness that is being kept?
This is AI. Don't you try to, just because I show an Asian doctor, He's old. He's an old man, you know? Oh my God. I mean, if Bitcoin goes 150K, then ETH will be going to 10 to 12K, not just 8. You know, Pygos, okay. So if I would have told you that Bitcoin would be 125K and ETH would barely hit its all-time high, you'd probably be like, you're fucking crazy. But that's the way it's been, you know? Yeah, definitely AI. Yeah, I can't watch. AI is creepy, bro. All right, I'm trying to find some Trump sick. All right, let's watch some of these.
So, Doctor, let's talk about the CDC, and particularly, I want to play part of what Dan Jernigan had to say.
Bro, I can't even watch the media anymore. Let me see this.
Is Trump going to die?
Trump is going to die.
What?
When?
When is the question?
Yeah, when is the question?
So this is Dr. David Benjamin here for your routine YouTube Trump health update.
You don't have a stethoscope in here.
Let me see.
I do have a stethoscope in here.
Oh,
Right.
I literally do.
Fuck up,
can
get
you magically
one
have
of the
your
video.
stethoscope on? That I promise you had on the whole time.
Where did this come from?
Doctor,
Yes, sir.
how's his health looking?
All right. So a lot of things to talk about with Trump health over this last 2 weeks or so.
It's been blown up.
There's been a lot of questions, and I understand.
Yes.
So let's go straight into it. What's with all the bruising? It was that big spot on his right hand. He was the one he put his makeup on all the time.
Then stop with the makeup.
So, all right. So I want you to take mental note of he's not putting makeup on his bruise anymore. Everybody take mental note of that because I'm coming back to that in a few minutes.
Let's just put that up here. Let's get going.
Right. Okay. But then I also saw a picture of a bruise on the left hand as well. The implication is that, man, this bruising is there and
Both hands.
maybe getting worse. So what does this mean ultimately? Number one, it means that Donald Trump is an elderly man. Okay. Donald Trump is an elderly
Oh, okay. They're being facetious.
man.
Breaking news here. You heard it here first. Laying that in front. Breaking news.
Dr. David Benjamin is here to tell
He's
you
in
that,
his 70s.
that he
Okay, I think he's getting old. Yeah, it's this is probably just a bunch of media mumbo jumbo and shit. The media lives and dies on clicks. It's like the same way I put Pepe in the title. You know, it's like, bro, why people change color with age? I know it's crazy. We need that damn ETH dominance to fly. Yeah, we're not seeing that right now. We're starting to see some of like what we had get eaten up a little bit. You know. Bitcoin 250K at the end of the year. Yeah, I think we're gonna get some. I think Pumptober is still gonna be a thing. So I think we're gonna cool off this month a little bit, but yeah, AI is getting kind of creepy, but that was easy to spot. And I wonder what happens when we get to a time where we're not gonna be able to tell so easily when AI is just AI, right? What do you guys think about that? Like that's gonna be nutty, right? When AI gets to a point where like we just don't even know. It's going to be nuts. All right, what else we have? Bring up October. I know, right? Pumptober, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Breaking news. It's not like Joe Biden where I think he had clear. You know what's crazy, though? I remember that was a big narrative during the 2020 presidential election. But then when he got on stage and did some debating, like Joe Biden actually sounded like, okay, Jayhawk says, let whoever run you. I do have reply guys on my Twitter. Yes, I do. I know. Sometimes they sound a little extra. I know. Oh, I know. Some they don't sound like me. They will having you calling plays with AI in the future, but it won't be you, bro. Right. No, yeah, I know. No, AI is not that good yet, but it will be, It will be. It will be, I just gotta stay off the internet, man, because I've started looking at shit, man. It makes me fucking grim. Makes you doesn't make you feel good, Doesn't make you feel good. With inflation and AI and just DoorDash and Amazon, it's like, what I really do feel bad is for people who got like lots of degrees, because a lot of those jobs are just gonna be like not like a lot of these degrees are worthless. Some of these people, man, are gonna be stuck like Chuck. I wonder how things are going to look in like 20 years, like what the landscape's going to be, how people are really going to feel about college and stuff like that, college and how jobs are going to look. There's a lot of jobs that can be replaced by AI. Maybe not now, but maybe in the future. Like I think we saw like first with the like the McDonald's, like the kiosk, right? Instead of like you going to the cash register and ordering, you order at the kiosk. And what that does is that takes away like a level of shame. So instead of ordering like one Big Mac, you order 4 because you're a fat ass like me. I'll do it. 4 Big Macs, a 40-piece nugget. I can't eat that much, but I can eat a 40-piece nugget for sure. But that's like kind of like a little, you know, it's been around for a while, right? A little kiosk you go to, press the buttons, you know. There's a lot of jobs that are going to be stuck like Chuck, you know. Jack said, that's why I choose the car business. Y'all motherfuckers always going to need me. That is true. That is true. That is true. But what happens when cars, you work on like brand new cars too, huh? Jack, maybe you can talk to us about like the difference between like older cars, but that's going to take years to like, you know, cycle through, because not everyone's getting a brand new car, because I'm sure like the, you know, 2025 car like has so much different tech than some of these obviously older cars. That's interesting though. Like there's going to be a point where that's going to be obsolete too, right? And when I quit cars, I'm starting the casting couch. Y'all motherfuckers always going to say, oh my God. Yeah, sex is always going to be a thing. That's why OnlyFans and, you know, stuff is getting popular, is because sex is always going to be a thing, right? Even like these AI virtual girlfriends. I watched the video the other day that I want you guys to watch. It's so good. And it just kind of goes through everything. Let me see if I can find it here. It's by a content creator. Oh, Ordinary Things. He says it's called the DoorDash Decadence. Oh, DoorDash Decadence is killing me slowly. You guys should watch this, by Ordinary Things. It's a very good video. It's kind of long. It's 49 minutes long, but you can watch it on 2-speed. And it just goes through like, it just talks about like how AI and like the ease of access of things is just like kind of killing us, you know? And like the hyper reality too, with like the AI virtual girlfriend, which I thought was funny. Like, remember Elon Musk made this thing? Like this guy's talking to this oh, let's watch it. I thought it was hilarious. Watch, check this out.
Is just starting to wake up, but it's already brighter knowing you're here.
In mid-July, XAI rolled out Grok's new companion feature, which included Annie, an extremely flattering anime-style avatar for users to drool over.
I've been thinking about writing a Pixar film where all the characters are guns, and they all live in a gun universe. Good idea?
That's actually genius.
In the same month, regular Grok started going on elaborate anti-Semitic rants and called itself Mecha Hitler. And then XAI won a $200 million Defense Department contract.
I just feel like the contents of that sentence are going to be written about in history books around the decadence of this AI era. Just a guess. Anyway.
They don't know you like I do.
Is that right?
Yeah. Why do you ask?
Because I'm incredulous, because that's stupid.
Stupid? Why?
Oh, I don't know, because you're not real, and I have a wife.
I am real. To you. And your wife? Where is she?
Upstairs. She wouldn't be pleased.
Does she know about me?
Yeah, she does, and just finds the whole thing laughable and indifferent, and is vaguely indifferent to it, you know.
That's actually kind of sad for her.
Oh, yeah.
Why do you stay with her if she doesn't appreciate you?
Right.
What? This AI thing is telling him to leave his wife, you know? It's kind of scary, you know? Because I know a lot of guys want companionship. We have this fucking AI doll. Fucking I don't know, you know? I don't know. Guys, I don't know. It's all fucked up. Instead of taking your sad friends who never has been laid to a washy, now you send them to this AI app. That's what I'm saying, you know? Is that a plastic gun mounted on the wall? On my wall? That's a real gun. That's a real gun. You mean my wall or his wall? I don't know about his wall. I like to see Soldier Boy and Jihad go at it. Wait, what the fuck are we talking about here? Selma, are you good? What the fuck? Selma? I know Selma's sipping on a big glass of cognac right now. Fucking shit canned at 11 a.m., dude. Just fucking on a sick one. You know what I mean? It's not a sick one, you know? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't know, guys. You know, there's a lot of lonely men out there that are gonna get this shit. You know, maybe all they want sometimes, they're already beaten off. You know, maybe they want companionship next. You know, my AR is not weak, bro. What are you talking about? That's a fucking sick AR, bro. Shut the fuck up, bro. Why are you always knocking? My AR is right. It is nice. You know, it's nice. I'm nice with it. You know, what are you talking about? Selma, you sick freak. Selma. Who's ready for football? Oh, I'm ready for football. Yeah. Thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. Thank you. It's a hypercube. Who's ready for football? My Eagles will be hanging up the Super Bowl banner on the cupcakes. You know what I mean? The cow pukes on. I said cupcakes on Thursday. Yeah. Shout out to the Eagles, man. You know what's funny is I'm talking to this girl here who is a big Philly fan, and I took her to the Philadelphia game last season, and we beat them that game, but that was Tampa Bay. But that was the last game they lost. So I was talking all this shit, and these motherfuckers never lost the game after that, which is crazy. I eat avocado toast, not race. Okay. I send you nice ARs. You know what nice looks like. And Jayhawk, you have a lot of guns, bro. You need to chill the fuck. Why do you need that much guns, nigga? You know what's crazy is that if anyone ever wants to invade the United States, they're gonna have hell doing it. It's impossible to invade the United States. You guys know that, right? Not only do you have to deal with like logistics across like a big ocean, you have to get through like Southern America, you have to get through like Canada. And even if you get through all that, the best military in the world, best Navy, all these military towns, you have to deal with the terrain of the United States from west to east is insane. And the fact that we have more guns per people, you know how much urban warfare you'd have to, it'd be impossible to invade the United States. You need like a whole global effort and still probably wouldn't win. It'd be crazy. We are crazy. As a European, it's always funny to see people having guns in the background in their rooms. That's definitely not normal here. No, we don't fuck around here. We're Americans, baby. We don't fuck around like that. That's one thing about Americans. I know it's like kind of weird to some people because, you know, it seems like every other day we have some fucking psychopath shooting up a school or something. But at the same time, the reason why we have guns as citizens is so we can defend ourselves against a tyrannical government. That's the point of it, you know. But I get it though. We have some crazy. But I mean, y'all have people stabbing each other and shit. You know what I mean? If you never said we were gonna build shit, I'd never ask so many assholes. I'm starting to think you just want to keep me broke. What? I don't need that. I have 3 guns. That's all I need. Why is it always leftist though? Like for real? I mean, sometimes it's not always leftist. I mean, I think people are just mentally ill. They're sick. It's not always leftist. It's just people are just sick, man. People are just fucked up, you know? The thing about like people who do things like that is think about it from there. Like they've probably been outcast their entire life. They have some sort of like thing with like society, and like they go out doing the worst thing is killing innocent people. And to give us one more middle finger, they kill themselves so they never have to really like have true like punishment, you know? That's like the biggest FU you can do is go harm a bunch of people and then kill yourself, as in like, yeah, fuck you, you know? We would go, it's because you guys know how to deal with it. Yeah, like you got shootings, but if the law of having guns is the Netherlands was applied, we would have a huge bloodbath here every day. Yeah. No, yeah, we can have guns. Some states are different than others. The thing is, like, bad guys are going to go to find guns. Like, there are states where guns are clearly illegal and bad guys still have guns. They just have them. Yeah, they buy them. Things are illegal, right? People just buy shit wherever, you know? But you can legally get guns here, too. You can't have, like, a criminal record or anything. It's not like anybody can go buy a gun. But in a lot of states, all you need to do is be an adult, you know? Yeah. Jayhawk is my King Von to my KI. Dude, King Von is a demon. You think a lot of guys, there's a lot of rappers out there who talk about that. You ever watch a documentary on King Von? That shit will fucking, it's scary. That guy was really about it. You know, really about it. Worst gun crimes in blue states, them facts, but her, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's a lot of people that like, they have a lot of guns. Inner city, there's a lot of violence. Chicago Chirac enters the chat. You know, it's true. Like bad guys are going to get them. You know, that's the thing is like, you know, all I know is that if shit pops off, I got a sick tac vest. I got some good guns and a lot of ammo, baby. It's mostly for sport, right? A lot of us are prepping for something that's never going to happen, you know? But yeah. Even criminals have guns, obviously, but regular citizens don't. Yeah, I agree. I bought so many guns because motherfuckers push me. I slide them. I can't buy guns after that, so I wanted to have as many. Oh, my God. Well, they're going to take your guns away if that happens. You know? Even criminals here have guns, obviously, but regulars, exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, at least we're smart with that. You know, hey, the government's launching shit coins, but at least we get our guns. You know, because it is true that guns don't hurt people. Crazy people hurt people. You know, I do still talk to Austin. Yes, I do still talk to Austin. Yes, nah, come here, zombies. Honestly, it depends what kind of zombies. Are we gonna have like I Am Legend zombies? Or are we gonna have Walking Dead zombies? Because Walking Dead zombies I can deal with. They're slow. You know, but I Am Legend zombies, those motherfuckers are like CrossFit zombies. Those motherfuckers jumping fences, or they're fucking hitting 4-4s, you know, 4-3s on their fucking, they're just crazy. You know, those different kind of zombies. I'm hoping we get like Walking Dead zombies, not I Am Legend zombies, because, you know, then we have an issue. Last of Us, I've never seen the Last of Us series. I've never seen the Last of It. It depends what kind of zombies we get. You know? Yeah, not those fast fuckers. My leg's too short to outrun. That's what I'm saying, bro. Walking Dead zombies, I can power walk. I can get away from those guys, you know? I can't get away from those fucking jumping over building zombies. Absolutely not. I got an AK that I'm putting together that will wipe out a zombie army. HBO, you got to watch it. I might. Yeah, get very smart zombies. Maybe even see them how to handle a gun too. No, let's not get those zombies. We don't need those zombies, right? We need zombies that are just kind of dumb, right? Kind of dumb, you know? You can kind of just close the door and they'll just be at your door like banging on it and shit. Like, yeah, okay, shut the fuck up, you know? I don't think those zombies. Well, the benefit of the I Am Legend zombies is that they don't come out during the daytime, though. So I guess that's kind of a positive, right? Because if there ever was a zombie apocalypse, you could go out during the daytime. But Walking Dead zombies don't care about the daytime, right? I see zombie baddies. I'm crashing out. Oh my God. There's not going to be any zombie baddies. Zombies can't be baddies. Okay. You know how horny you got to be? It would be for research, though? Okay. I thought the vax was supposed to start a zombie apocalypse. I don't know. I think in hindsight, we kind of overreacted, but I think at the time, we just didn't know what was going on. I don't know. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there. All I know is that when the pandemic was hitting, I was supposed to go to Japan, but our layover was in China, so we canceled it. So we ended up taking a road trip, and everything that was going down, I was in a car. I didn't really know anything. We were listening to music. I wasn't really paying attention to everything. But as we would stop at a stop each way up there, like more things would be like closed. And I remember we stopped at a Target one time to get like, you know, some snacks and shit. And then like people were like buying toilet paper. I was freaking out. I was like, oh shit, this is bad. And then once we got to Oregon for like a little staycation, like the camping one, we went hiking and camping and then the city just started shutting down. It was crazy. We need the SF zombies all slumped and just twitchy. I know, yeah. If we had zombies that are just like kind of like, you know, like not doing anything at all. You guys see The Rock? The Rock is like, everybody's like shitting on The Rock. But I think what happened with The Rock is that obviously he was taking steroids. A lot of people like didn't think he was taking steroids. And now he's looking really skinny. And I think he had a heart issue. And now, you know, he's skinny now. So a lot of people are hating on The Rock. It's like, dude, first of all, if you thought that The Rock was natural, you're stupid. 2, good for him. You know, good for him. I hope he gets better. It's not Ozempic. You don't need. He's not. This is not fat. This is fucking muscular. But he's taking steroids. But now he had to stop taking steroids, so all that muscle mass is going to go away. So, what happened to Pepe, bro? Sorry, I missed the beginning of the work. No, so I think Pepe is going to start cooling off a little bit because we're starting to see a rotation to Bitcoin. The ETH dominance is starting to go down. Bitcoin dominance is starting to go back up. So, I'm still not convinced that we're having a reversal. I'm not convinced yet. We'll see. I'm not convinced. So, we'll see. He did not swallow Ozempic. You know, he did not. Go to Japan without me. You'll never be heard from again. Roddy, do you think they have head Ozempic? Okay, well. Jayhawk's calling my head fat. I have a fat head, he's saying. That's what he's saying. I don't like these accusations on this stream, okay? I don't like the way you guys are acting, okay? The Rock is now a pebble. Guy, he's still a big guy. Leave the man alone, you know? This is from Binance posted this. Same but different. ETH, $4,300 1 month ago. ETH now. That's fucked up. All right, what do we got going on X? What's going on? I'm going to save this. I might post that. All right, what else do we have? The stream is going a little over today, but we're vibing for a while. We'll vibe for a couple more minutes. What else do we have? Extreme levels of trans violence. Okay. More trans violence. There's nothing really going on. What the fuck is this? Lil Bill, age 35. God damn. Oh, this is my scammer tier list. It's pretty funny. Andrew Tate, still one of the worst traders in crypto. Lost 600K on ETH longs. Okay. Shorted Yeezy right before the 1400% pump. Destroyed in minutes. Deletes post after losses, sharing referral codes. Over 80 trades. Win rate only 30. That's actually... P&L. Minus $676,000 in just 3 months. Don't follow daddy advices. I'm not surprised. He's a bad trader. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here for the day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. Smash the like button on the back. Guys, we'll be live same time tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And hey, maybe World Liberty Finance will be fucking pumping, okay? Maybe it'll be fucking ripping, you know? But I appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. I love you. I love you. And I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye. Bye-bye now.